Our guide is the Bible because it's the divinely inspired Word of God, and it will never take us in the wrong direction. Along the way, we hope you'll see that we are welcoming and spiritually passionate, and that getting to know you is a big deal to us. We know that the road is rough sometimes, but we'll work really hard to bring you practical and relevant messages to equip and encourage you through life's ups and downs. We want you to know that we care about this community, and we believe that it's our job to make it a better place. So, no matter who you are or where you've been, we're glad you're here with us today, and we hope that you'll join us on our journey, following Christ and living out His plan for us. So, welcome to church.
What's up, y'all?
Hello, hello.
Hey there! Is today your first time here? Or maybe you're...
It's nice to see y'all. Nice to see y'all. Welcome to the City Believers Podcast. I'm Kimbria.
I'm Darius.
I'm Michaela. Happy Monday. Okay, let's just start off with saying Happy Monday. Oh my goodness. How's y'all's day been so far? Good, Darius?
Mine's been good. Mine's good. Up on my feet all day, but yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You too, okay?
Yeah, I worked.
Same.
Oh.
Same.
Get up.
We talked about that on the way here.
I work with kids with autism, so
Same.
little girl tried to choke me out for a piece of chocolate.
What?
Struggle out here. Because she wanted that chocolate.
And it wasn't even like good chocolate.
What kind was it?
Oh, it was just some chocolate. I was like, this doesn't even smell good.
Oh, if it's not Hershey's cookie and cream, I don't care too much. That's my favorite, by the way. If y'all want to give.
Other than that, I mean, did you guys?
Ooh,
Big successes today.
you can have those? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Okay.
Excuse me.
Or lately? It doesn't have to be today.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I'll start with mine.
Yes, all right.
So my son is just now learning how to talk, and he's actually able to tell me now. So that's exciting. So he tells me when he's hungry, and he's lowered his tantrums, which has been great.
I think mine will have to be, well, in this season, I am a maid of honor. So I hosted a party for my best friend, Sam. Hey, how you doing? And I was stressing over it. Like, I wanted it to be perfect. But it turned out to be a beautiful event. So I'm very happy.
I said I got a couple. I'm starting these like meatless Mondays. I'm trying to change my diet a little bit. Gotta shed a little weight. You know what I'm saying? Actually another one is like being consistent and reading my word at night before I go to bed. So kind of start off with like at least a chapter a day. Now I'm in Psalms, so I get like maybe good 3 or 4. What did I say?
That's
Pretty
good.
good.
That's good.
That's really
Well, tonight's episode is very dear to me. It's something that I want to share with all of you listening at home. And this episode is called The Waiting Game. And you may think, the waiting game, what does this mean? Like, it can be numerous of things. But with the waiting game, it's about waiting until marriage. So, this is a heavy topic for me. This is definitely a topic that I didn't think was going to make it. But here I am. Here we go. So with this topic, it's basically, well, first let me start off with the scripture. And it reads Hebrews 13:4. Basically says, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. God will judge the adulterer in all sexual immorals. So with that, I definitely just had to tap into that because yesterday's sermon, like, hit everything that I needed to know about finding a helpmate. Because, you know, we're in today's society where helpmates are anybody, when it really should be a person that's walking in their faith, that could be a leader and lead you in the right way, in the ways of the Lord and everything else. So I just felt like yesterday really put like a whole stamp on just knowing who you need to find in a helpmate. You know, like, that's important. So I wanted to ask you guys about what are some things that you admire in your helpmate since you're married, and I feel like you can give me advice about what it's like to be married, but also finding a helpmate, but also just showing you, just telling me about what are some things that I need to look into.
He answers every part of the paragraph. That's it's one of those things that like it's weird to like say out loud, but I used to date guys and you would send them those like long paragraphs or like multiple messages about stuff. It doesn't even have to be like arguing and they would only answer one part. No, my husband will literally answer every single part of the paragraph. And I was just like,
Yeah.
magic?
He listens to me.
He finishes my sentences. And that's real. Like, that's something that I would want to find in a helpmate. And if you want to look more into yesterday's sermon, please look into that because it was a really good lesson that I learned yesterday.
It's on Believer City.
Yes. Yes. And
Please check it out.
Yes,
It was
please check it
really
out.
good.
Check
And
it out.
Believer City YouTube.
Yes, check it out. That's I'm speechless with it. And shout out to our pastor who literally like he broke down every single thing into find in a helpmate. And I feel like that's important when you're waiting to marriage because there are people out there that don't care if you're waiting to marriage, you know, and that's real too. And to those who have it, that's okay. But I feel like once you walk that walk of faith and you realize and you identify the things that okay, now I'm starting to see things that are not me anymore. And Pastor Chris basically told me about some things that I really didn't realize, like about soul ties. And it's a real thing. And I didn't really, deep dive into soul ties until I had people tell me like it's real. You start doing habits that you never done before. You start lashing out on people that care about you, and that was something that that was something that really sparked me because I was like, that's a thing. Like I used to think people when they say about soul ties, I was like, okay, yeah, like
Soul ties don't have to be other.
yes,
You can also have that with friends.
yes, that's true.
And one of my really good friends, Louisa.
And there's good ones, but there's also bad ones. Like there's
Well,
some
them bad ones
Yeah.
are going to show you some things. It's going to kind of tell you about yourself.
yes, like I feel like those are red flags, pretty
Yeah, 'cause,
much.
I had one with an ex from back in the day, for sure. It was very toxic. I don't know why did that soul tie even happen. We were terrible for each other. I can be honest.
It's the companionship and the communication that you.
But also, when do you realize it's a soul tie and it's not your friend?
That's the one. That's
Pastor,
the one.
like,
Why you
Pastor-
coming?
Yesterday.
Hold on,
Exactly.
pause. Why you coming for me this?
He said
No,
that
no, I'm
yesterday.
because that's what I'm thinking about right now. It's nothing against you, Darius.
You're triggered.
I'm just
No,
saying
kidding.
though that I had that instance. I had an ex that I went back to 3 different times because I was like, I can fix him. I couldn't.
Project.
I ended up taking a broken person who made me broken, and we created a broken foundation. And it was also just a lot of like trying to fill a void that could only be filled with God, and I kept trying to fill it with men. I also kept trying to fill a void that also too sometimes when you're dating you try to fill a void if you've had mom issues or if you have dad issues.
Yes.
I was trying to fill a void of a fatherless like childhood that I grew up with, and also the way that my mother was. I was trying to fill voids with people when I should have been filling it with God.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
That's-
real. Yes.
that's good. That's real, man.
That's the
That's
one
really good.
because you find out in the end the void was never filled.
Because you're whole.
Exactly. And I feel like nowadays people don't understand, or maybe people do understand now that when you are in a relationship and you want to, have obviously the long-term goal is marriage. Well, I know for me, right? So, but there's things that happen along the way. Like, life happens. You're going to be tested. But I also feel like when you're in a season where, Darius, I promise, where you're
We're not targeting
not.
you.
Why not?
I know y'all not targeting me. I really not. This is like.
God said
It's-
this is what we're talking about.
Because
Yeah.
she's speaking a lot of things I've really
And
experienced
no,
before.
and to be
It's
honest,
like-
I was telling Michaela this yesterday, and I was like, I'm a little nervous about talking about this subject because I am saving myself to marriage, and that's something that rarely happens. Like you don't really hear about it, and if you do hear about it, people keep it a secret. So that's something that I want to share this because this is my story. And what's so crazy is that when I say it, usually I will want to get the response of, "Oh, that's wonderful," but
Nope.
I get looks of like, "Girl, you 27," and I'm
40-year-old virgin.
They asked me if I've seen that movie too.
I wondered if they did.
Yes, they did. But for me, I feel like my discernment and the way that, don't get me wrong, I've, have been in front of guys that were like, you carry yourself a certain way and it's different from what I've seen in other girls. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. But I also feel like that when you have a female intuition, and ladies, y'all might know what I'm talking about, or no, you do know what I'm talking about, but it's an intuition where you know when something's not right at that moment, and if you know you're giving 1,000% to this person, and you know if you just give that extra percent, things will change. And I feel like that was in my ways, because I was like, I don't think I can give this person all, my whole, and not it be like destroyed back to me. Well, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
God has a way to really like show
Yeah,
up. And
it
show
also
up in
do-
your life.
Have
Like,
that though. I feel like God gave us a gift of good discernment.
Well, everyone has different gifts of discernment. It's not always the same, and also some women don't listen to their intuition as much. But also, intuition is also more of like worldly things. It's like manifesting. Like, I want to manifest a good man. You can't manifest a good man if God doesn't want you to have a good man yet.
you must be a good you first before you have that
Right.
good man.
And that's
You
what Pastor
you
Chris
have
was
to be
talking
whole
about.
in Him before you can go add value to someone else.
Right. And I agree with that. I feel like, to me, when you put yourself in a situation where God didn't ask you to be there in the first place, that's when peace becomes a problem. And that goes with ties in. I mean,
Where he was saying that me being in this relationship with you shouldn't cause me problems, it should cause me peace. And if it's
Yes.
not causing me peace, then there's a problem.
yes. And I'm so glad that yesterday's sermon tied into today's message. That it really helped.
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Transparent moment. When I was out in these streets, I'll be honest. Like
I don't know the street.
before I decided to rededicate myself back to God. I told myself when I was younger and like, yeah, I'm waiting, to have sex and till I'm married, right?
Right.
College happened, that changed my mind. I started experiencing things, and I realized myself once I started having that, I felt myself changing in the worst way possible, honestly,
Yeah.
because I was taking advantage of different women, and like I was viewing women a different way. It was a very unhealthy way, for sure. And on top of that, I was taking advice from the wrong people, absolutely, because they
That
did
never
not
help.
help. Because they really like morph my mind, into this
And where are
ugly
they now?
person.
And then
It's
where
very
are they
ugly
now?
person.
Like nowhere to be found.
But sometimes too, when things like that happen, you are dragged into worldly things and you're brought into evil. So of course, when you do things like that, you're gonna hang out with the wrong crowd. They're gonna tell you things you do. You're gonna do things that you shouldn't do. There's gonna be temptation. So yeah,
Temptation is real.
like
It's so real.
I didn't
It is
wait,
hard.
but mine. So I didn't wake, but full transparency, mine was taken from me, and it gave me like a really bad view. Because I was taught in church, the church that I went to growing up, that if you had sex before marriage, you were going to hell.
Yep.
Like you
Yep.
couldn't wear, if you did it and you
Yep.
did get married, you couldn't wear white to your wedding.
Yep.
You're gonna go to hell. Like I was also taught that holding hands was like awful, forbidden, couldn't do it.
Oh yeah.
But I call it like my sanctified. Like me giving it away to someone was taken from me, and it gave me a really bad view on that. And I didn't. So I just kind of was like, well, if it was taken from me, then what's the point of waiting?
Yeah. And I feel like for me, I feel like God just put it in my spirit and in my heart to just be like, just wait. There is something. I have something better for you that is going to be worth waiting for. And I have women that are in conferences and all over that in my lifetime have told me, you don't understand how valuable you are. And I want to talk to all the ladies out there that feel ashamed that you are waiting till marriage, or you waiting till marriage is silly. No, it is not. And I'm coming to terms that I used to feel the same too, but now I feel like I'm not silly. This is something that has been on my mind, on my heart, and I'm not changing my ways for anybody. And I know for a fact that there is something on the other side of my waiting. And I have to hold on to that because the minute that I let that go is when the worldly views start coming in. And that's when the confusion and the anxiety and everything else that is not of God starts coming in. So I want to shout out to all the ladies that are waiting, and shout out to you that if you are waiting, because there is good in waiting. That's my message, because I feel like we get looked down upon. We really do, and I feel like, when we get looked down upon, it's almost as if like for me, example, you're 27. What you doing? Like, you sure you okay? Like, is something wrong with you? And to be honest, no, there is nothing wrong with me. It's just that I want better. And to be honest, I don't want to be the statistic of being that girl that has to get, how can I say this? I really want to say this in a way that I don't want to be the next one to say, well, she could have waited. And that's my whole thing with that. So I feel like that's important, that young women out there and girls who are growing up, going to high school, just understand that it's okay to wait. And I'm 27, so I even saw something about a 49-year-old celebrity.
But also with that, I
waited.
do want to reiterate that if you didn't wait,
Yes,
also doesn't
yes.
make you unworthy
Right.
of waiting now.
It does.
Right.
I know sometimes
Right.
if you haven't waited and things happen, something happened, you guys went all the way. I don't want now, mind you, it is fantastic that Cambria is
That's my
waiting. I love that
experience.
for
That's my
her.
experience.
But please don't think that because you didn't or something happened and you couldn't or whatever it is that makes you unworthy.
Right.
It does not.
Right.
You can always do abstinence. You can't take it back, but you can take back the power of it. You can wait until you get married now. You can, even if you're in a relationship right now and you guys aren't married and you want to stop, tell them, I don't want to do it anymore. And if they leave you, that's on them. You can find
them.
someone that will
Yeah,
wait for you.
Amen.
Man,
Because
it's on them.
you need a relationship that needs to put God in the center.
Yes.
And I feel with God in the center, those urges and those temptations would kind of cease,
Yes.
and y'all we'll be able to communicate about that.
I wish I would have waited.
Oh, hey, man.
Can
I
you
wish I
why-
would've waited.
Can I ask you why you wish you would have waited?
Well, in all honesty, I wish I would have waited. Of how, I didn't. Full transparency, things were taken from me. You, relations. It made me view
There, you
it in a
said it.
very negative light, and so I just kind of I just did it because I was like, there was no waiting, the excitingness of it was gone, if that makes sense. Like the specialness of it was gone. And I wish I would have waited, because if I would have waited, then my husband, who I'm with now, could have made me realize that it was special. That I have the power to wait and I have the power to make it special.
I like that.
I do. I wish I would have waited. I unfortunately did not, but
And that's okay.
it's not too late.
And it's not too late. Darius, why do you wish you would?
But I absolutely wish I would have waited. I think for me, why I wish I would have waited, because throughout my life I gave myself to the wrong people. I gave my energy to the wrong people, and this felt very draining. It was like I felt like life was being sucked right out of me, dealing with certain people and giving myself to certain people.
Devil!
You used to say the devil's
I
dance.
rebuke it. Rebuke it.
Devil's dance.
Rebuke it. And it's like I always viewed sex. Sex. Sorry,
It's not a bad word, y'all. It's not. It's not.
Sex, but
Sounds weird saying it at church.
Ooh,
I mean, yeah,
but
we're being transparent, right?
we're being transparent.
Yeah, I get it, but
But I mean, God created it. So how else would? What do you mean? That's a gift.
Eve ate the apple,
Well, that
which
yes.
made that wasn't a gift.
Well, here's okay, yes, okay, but at the same
Oh, that's a
Listen,
whole
Eve
different
messed up
discussion.
lives.
That's a whole different discussion. We're not gonna get into that.
Listen,
Never
Eve
mind.
made.
You gotta come back for that.
Listen, Eve messed up a lot of things, but
Hey.
But we here, though.
You guys ate it too. Y'all didn't say no.
We don't know if it's an apple.
Y'all didn't say
or
no.
it's a peach or a pear.
First of all, no wait.
Or
We're not
a-
gonna slide past
or
that comment.
grapefruit.
First of all, yes, Eve ate it first, but then she said, "Hey, Adam, eat this."
What
And
did
what did he say? Sure,
well,
Eve.
she still ate it first, all right?
It doesn't matter.
She was hungry too.
You still went along with it.
She still ate it first.
You could have. Adam could have easily said, "Nah, fam. That's not for
Yeah,
me."
it was both. I'm being honest. Yes, it was both their fault.
Yeah,
They both should
yeah,
have accountability.
was.
up
But
there.
if we're being honest, Eve ate it.
Yes.
But this is why men always listen to what their wives. Actually, this is why I heard a joke that said since Eve was the one that made Adam eat the apple, why husbands don't listen to their wives. Because the last time they did, they got thrown out of the Garden of Eden.
Is that why, as some things said, we get the last word or something, and I guess husbands let us have it? No, that's not.
Oh.
Never mind. I was asking you, do you get the last word? I mean,
Yeah, because usually my husband doesn't say anything back.
oh, okay.
He's the listener. Like he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
what-
mainly
that's
me
most of
going.
us, honestly. I
no,
wanna listen.
I'm like, are you gonna say anything? And he's just like,
He does do the eye blink. That-
Listen, I'm hearing what you say.
It's like the cartoons where you just hear the eyes blink, blink.
Yes, he does do that, which is hilarious. But I feel like that's what's important for this message is that it's okay if you didn't, but if you are waiting, that's also okay. And you shouldn't let anybody talk you down into pressuring you, because I feel like peer pressure is a thing in our generation.
Don't make the world make you feel bad for doing what God has for you.
Yes. And to be transparent, I'm in therapy for it, so I mean, there you go.
The world don't have your best interest at heart. They really don't.
Because the word is always changing. God is constant.
Well, and also that's why waiting is such not like a bad concept, but people are like, "Oh my God, why are you waiting?" And it's because the world has made it seem like it's just okay. Like we have OnlyFans, we have strip clubs, we have like Hooters, where everything,
Yeah,
well,
we do.
no,
I mean, we
everything
do.
is sexualized.
Yeah.
And if you haven't lost it yet, people always go, "What's wrong with you?"
Yes. Like I said earlier.
Like what's
yes,
wrong? Like
yes.
why haven't you? And it's always like, why haven't you? Like why can't I just wait? Like why does it have to be something's wrong with me?
Right.
I value my body. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
This is a temple, baby.
Period. And that's the important message is that don't let the world views distract you from your views that God has laid in your heart. That's the message, because we don't want for the world views to influence our walk of life with faith. And that's what's important. So I feel like we did good today. I feel like I just opened up a huge suitcase about what I was afraid to talk about, because this is a tough subject. Very tough. Did I mention I'm 27? So again, it's a tough subject.
27 times.
You know,
27 times.
I can do what I want. I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm glad we had this conversation, and y'all too for being transparent about you wish you would have waited, and that's something that's important for viewers to know, that if you didn't, it's okay, but if you are waiting, also okay. So that's important. Well, this was good. I loved it. And again, if you haven't checked out the Helpmate from our sermon yesterday, please do not hesitate to look at that, because that is a message.
It was only yesterday.
Yeah, it's only Monday, y'all. Yeah, it's only Monday. But yes, but definitely look into that, because that is a message.
Oh, it's literally no. Like Thanksgiving is next week. In 10 days.
Y'all got
literally,
y'all
it's
turkeys
next
ready?
week.
Y'all got that dressing?
I'm just saying right now, if you got a 27-pound turkey, you were supposed to defrost it yesterday.
You got deep fry? I don't.
The defrost turkey.
I don't
Yeah,
cook.
you done-
So
She not cooking for Thanksgiving.
I'm-
She not invited
I
with the
am.
dish.
Yes, I am.
What dish you bringing?
Plates?
That's
That's
not.
crazy.
Well, no, I am bringing something. A rotisserie chicken from Sam's. Thank you, Sam's, for always being 100% with that good rotisserie chicken. I appreciate y'all.
I'll
for
eat
that.
chicken on Thanksgiving.
A
Yeah.
rotisserie chicken? What's wrong with that?
I'm just asking. I've never heard. I usually hear like turkey